I had never felted anything in my life, but I tried it and made this basket for my yarn stash. I also need a chicken and crocheted a little lavender bouquet to decorate my living room. I would like to start with the basket. Here I have 14 skeins of drop snow. It is 100% wool, which is commonly used for felting, and I'm gonna felt a basket. I have never felted anything, so I feel very excited. This color is 102. It is like marzipan color. And I will use a free drops pattern. It's called Nuts About Your Basket. And the recommended needles are 9mm needles, but the largest needles I have are 8mm needles, so I will use them. Let's talk about the modifications I'm going to make. According to the pattern, first you have to knit the rectangle, the wall of the basket. Then you pick up stitches for the bottom and you knit the bottom flat with the decreases. And then you sew the bottom and the wall. I find this way not very convenient because you may have a problem that you run out of the yarn. For example, you have knit the whole wall of the basket and then you don't have enough yarn for the bottom. So that's why I decided to do it like this. First I knit like the part of the wall, a small rectangle. When I finished the first yarn skein, I picked up stitches for the bottom. And I have knit the bottom flat. And now I can spend all the yarn I have left for the wall of the basket. And also, it's very difficult to knit in this yarn. It's very uncomfortable and especially it's very difficult to purl. So I don't want to purl anymore. So that's why I decided that I will sew the bottom, this small part of the wall, and then I will just knit in the round. I think it will be quicker. And also one more advantage of knitting in the round is that I can use smaller needle size for the left needle, so it will be a bit quicker. Also now I feel a bit confused if we put it like this, so it should be sewn like this. It wouldn't be just a flat round, a flat bottom, it will be like a cone, a triangle. But I have seen photos on Ravelry and as far as I understand it is a common situation and it is fine. So I guess after felting it will become flat. For now I have spent almost 3 skeins. I have used 5 skeins. I don't know whether I will need all the skeins. I think we will see. So it is 9 skeins. I think I will use one more skein and finish. I finished the basket. Before washing it looks like this. I did handles. It is my first felting experience, so I'm very excited and a little bit nervous about washing this basket, but we'll see. And I guess while we're waiting until the basket washes and dries, we will move on to the next project. I've been thinking about knitting a toy for a long time. I have crocheted some toys, but I have never knitted one. So I decided to knit some toy and put it somewhere here. I have chosen a free pattern. It is Poppy the Chicken. And the recommended yarn is super bulky. I don't have such yarn, but I have thinner yarn in my stash. So I'm knitting in 4 threads of drops North. I use 3 skeins of beige color and 1 skein of brown color. Let me show you the result. It looks like this. I think it looks very nice. It is just a stockinette stitch, but this ornament looks like feathers because of the yarn combination. And I knitted in 6mm needles. I reached the point where I have to stuff the chicken, and I wanted to show you what I'm using to stuff it. While knitting, you always have to cut the ends, or you have some small amounts of yarn left, and I always collect it. Now I'm gonna stuff the chicken using these small pieces of yarn. I finished the chicken. I think it looks adorable. I did a couple of modifications. I wanted to make a bit bigger, so I did some kind of improvisation instead of following the pattern. I also added a picot edge for the crest. I think it looks more authentic. And I cast on more stitches for the wings because I wanted to make them larger. And I'm happy with the result. I think it's very cute. Also, I finished one more project. I made a lavender bouquet. Let me show you the yarn I've used. It is Drops Flora. The green color is 15 and the violet color is 9. It is 65% wool and 35% alpaca. And I love the colors of this yarn. They're so natural. They're really floral. So I decided that the flowers would look great in this yarn. I crocheted 7 lavender flowers. I used one YouTube video. I will link in the description this video. But I did it a bit different. According to the video, you should use a glue for the stem and to glue the flower to the stem. But I didn't want to use the glue. So I crocheted around the wire. By the way, here it is. It is, I think it's called floral wire. It looks like this. I crocheted around this wire and I didn't use the glue. And then to attach the flower to the stem, I just attached it with the end of the wire. It is quite stable and I think it wouldn't break. I like how it looks. I also bought a vase. It is a very small vase that looks like a candy. And now let's put my flowers to this vase. I felted the basket. What can I say about it? First of all, it doesn't hold the shape very good. I think it will be okay when I put something inside, but still it's not very stable. Maybe I can felt it one more time and it will become more stable and it will hold the shape better, but we'll see. I think for now I will keep it like this. I think the handles are too large, and the bottom is still like a triangle. It looks better. I also ironed it, but it still wrinkles. But nobody sees it, so I think it's fine. Maybe I am not 100% happy with it because I wanted it to be more stable, but I think it is also fine. Maybe later I will try to felt it one more time. And now let's fill this basket with all my yarn stash. By the way, I forgot to say that it took 500 grams for this basket, so I still have 5 skeins of drop snow left, so I can knit something else. This basket is bigger than my previous one. Does it mean that I can buy more yarn now? Do you have any ideas what else can be felted? I have 5 more skeins of drop snow. Of course, I have seen the obsession with slippers, but I don't really need slippers. So if you have any inspiration ideas, please leave them in the comments. And in the next video I'll show you everything I have been recently knitting. See you then!